And hello, everybody. Welcome back to Edric, Poon and Company, the podcast where anybody can inspire everybody. I'm Edric, your host, and this week we've got a very, very special guest. He's a huge name in Thailand, all right? And he's got an even longer name in my podcast. He is Mr. Pawoot Pom Pongvitayapanu. I hope I didn't butcher that, but he'll correct me in a little bit. He is an online entrepreneur, an e-commerce and online media business leader. All right, he's currently the CEO and founder of dotcom, the first and biggest e-commerce service in Thailand since 1998. So he's continued his expansion and founded Infrastructure Group in 2013. So as you know, there's a lot of knowledge here that we can get. Now, before we move forward, again, big thank you for watching, listening, subscribing, and supporting. If there's a topic that you'd really like for our podcast to really go into, feel free to just drop me an email, epicpodcasting@gmail.com, or feel free to just even comment on our YouTube page. All right, with that, let's get on to the podcast. We're finally doing this. Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a really, really busy man. But I have to say, your Facebook is always entertaining.
Thank
Always
you.
lots of
A
stories
lot
with
of
you, your family. And please, can you explain to me exactly right? Why do you have a navel as your as your Facebook picture?
I try to think because a lot of people using like a very good picture, right? Very good, your picture in your Facebook profile, right? But for
Right.
me, no, because my DNA, I'm think different. That means the way that I'm doing mostly always different. Okay. Mm.
Fantastic. No wonder you always wanted to do something else. But I really have to say, this is something that's very, very special to, or at least what I've seen. Your personal branding is super amazing because the way that you promote yourself, the way you promote your business, and not only that, everybody gets to know Pom for who he is, rather than thinking that, oh, Pom, I've been a DJ before, I've written for newspapers before, I've done event coverage, I'm a keynote speaker, I'm an entrepreneur, but people don't really say that. People know who Pom is. That's the greatest thing, and I really admire you for that. That's for sure.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
do I
and
do too many things, too many things, too much. Yeah. Mm.
actually, that's an amazing thing, and this is why
Yeah.
I think that this podcast is really going to be really fun,
Yep.
because where we really wanted to go into, right, with this whole thing is starting from the beginning. In that very brief introduction that I did earlier on, you started out in 1999 as a hobby, right,
Yeah.
for your entrepreneurship journey with
Yep.
very little cash outlay. And essentially, you were doing something like a second-hand business, but it's
Thai
online.
secondhand.com, the first
Yeah.
my first .com business. Yeah,
So
that I'm doing. Yep.
how in the world did you even first off, right, getting into the .com and being in Thailand at the time, would it be possible for you to kind of just give us a brief um, overview of what the market was like in Thailand in 1999 and how the .com was kind of not really that existent at the time?
I think in that time in 1999 is a .com era, right?
Mm,
Like a lot of internet business popping up. Netscape coming, a lot of .com company. In the stock market, a lot of people make money from the stock market by bringing the .com company to listing. And this is phenomenon is come to South Asia as well. I think in Singapore, in Thailand, in Malaysia, in many countries. But Thailand, we are really early stage of the .com business. That means
mm,
it's very few company, it's very few people doing a .com business in that time. But for me, I'm seeing that as a Yahoo, right? Yahoo.com is
yep.
coming then, and in Thailand, in that year, 1997 or 1998, we have a Tom Yam Goong crisis. That means economic
Mm.
crisis in Thailand.
Tom
Then
Yum Goong
everything crashed,
crisis.
right? Everything crashed. Actually, in that year, I'm graduate from architecture. Actually, I'm graduate from architecture. I'm not related to any business, right?
Mm,
And when I'm studying architecture, I'm like we do the way that we studying, the way that we living. We are like a hippie, long hair, using secondhand stuff. Yeah, and that is inspire me. That's why I'm starting the first business with the classified website. That means we allow the people to sell, post anything that they want in our website. It's named thaisecondhand.com. That means we open anyone. You can post anything about your stuff in online. In that year, the e-commerce, the name of e-commerce is not coming yet. I didn't know that e-commerce. Yeah. And it's gonna, the thing that I'm doing is quite different because in that time, a lot of portal in Thailand, they are, portal one, portal A, or portal two, portal B. But for thing that I'm doing like classify. It's the first classify in Thailand. That's why when I'm thinking thing that doing thing is different, people start realize, wow, it's new. And then I become like the news and media start spotting me. They're asking me, they interview me. That my website become like a growing more and more, but no money. It's just like a new business that people, wow, .com in Thailand, like that. In, After working with Thai secondhand for a few years, I got starting like raising money from the venture capital. Then it took about 2 years. I got money from investor. Mm. And then after I got money, companies start growing up from classified business. Then it's a C2C business, like consumer to consumer. That means we open for them to they can sell to each other. And then C2C is quite small. Then I think that why we're not stepping to the B2B2C. Then I'm creating the website name talat.com. Talat is mean like a market in Thai, like a market.com in Thai. Talat.com is a place that you can open your store. You can sell anything. We have platform, we have payment, we have traffic, things like that is 20 years ago. And after we open that, is something like it's new in Thailand too. It's growing. A lot of people want to do business in online. A lot of people want to do the e-commerce. They're coming to Talat.com. That's why I can grow up business so fast in that time. Mhm. And
Yeah.
then you see that the key for me is differentiation. I'm not following the other people. I'm doing things that differently because in that time e-commerce is quite new, and I'm the first guy doing this kind of business in Thailand. But after operating Talat.com around 10 years, business growing so good. Um, in 2016, Rakuten, one of the largest e-commerce from Japan, they came to Thailand and they want to expand the business outside of Japan to outside of the world. Thailand is the
Right.
second country that they're expanding. Then we talking together, and finally Rakuten acquired my company. Mm.
Oh, okay.
I I'm sell the majority of the share to them, but I'm still own the share, but I'm minority shareholder. Okay,
Okay.
and we
Okay.
working together. I'm working with Rakuten around 6 years, and we growing a lot of e-commerce in Thailand. We change a lot of e-commerce landscape, a lot of thing in Thailand. But after we working that, e-commerce competition in South Asian is changed. You see that we have Alibaba is coming, right?
Yep.
You have Lazada, you have Shopee. A lot of people jumping to the South Asia. That means everything changed so fast in terms of e-commerce. And then Rakuten cannot fighting with the big guy. Although they are big in Japan, but they are not big in South Asia. When the new guys coming, then Rakuten cannot fighting. Then they decided to shut down all the business in South Asia. Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, shut down. Then I talking to them, then can I buy back? Then I talked to them and I bought back the company and restructure all the company and bring the company back to business. And after 2 years, sales the company to the big conglomerate in Thailand. The company is TCC Group, the company who own the Chang Beer, the company who own Fraser Property, okay, and a lot of business in Thailand. And now I'm working with them for many years. That means I'm starting from the entrepreneur, starting everything from zero, and then I'm sales the company, I'm buying back, and I'm sales again. Yeah. And after I'm sales the company in the first time with Rakuten, I have money. Then I start my second track of my working life. That means I'm start investing to auto startup. Mm. That is something that largely that I'm keep investing about nearly 6 to 7 years now. I have 32 company right now that I'm
Mm.
investing. That means the
Now it's
true track
32.
32. Okay,
Wow.
this year I'm invest about three company. Mm. Mhm. That is something that starting from zero. Okay, become entrepreneur, become like a professional worker and investor, and a lot of things that I'm doing within 22 and 23 years already. Yeah. Mhm.
Right. And then when you sold the company the first time to Rakuten, right?
Yep.
After that, when you decided to buy it back, curious to understand what changes did they make that you had to basically turn the whole thing back around just to start from ground zero again?
Um, when the company working, when we working to Rakuten, we change everything. We try to we call it the integration to the Japanese culture. The way
Mm.
that we work, it totally changed. And I think it's really good. I learned a lot when working with Rakuten because um, in Japanese culture, something like we have a daily morning meeting. Every morning we have meeting and we have daily reporting. We have to submit the daily reporting to for my team to the manager to me, and then we submit data information. And the data in Rakuten is transparency. That means you can see every data from every team. You can see P&L, profit and loss. You can see everything in the company. That is really opened my eyes that wow, this is the way that you operating the company. The Rakuten let everyone in the company see what's going on in the company and and clear direction because they have a weekly meeting. Weekly meeting, that means weekly meeting the whole world. That means everyone in the company, in the whole world, every country. We call the Asakai, morning Asakai. That means everyone, we open the video meeting and then we join the meeting, get the same communication from the CEO, see the all data from the every country. We moving together. That is really changing my attitude about and my working style. I'm becoming like a micromanagement KPI because they're using KPI. They're
Mm.
reporting. Everything can turn to be number, you know, and and that this way then I operating the company like this way after I'm lifting from Rakuten.
All these are very, very interesting tools that you had picked up along the way. And did you also then integrate them when you took it back?
Yep. Something is too much. I'm not I'm leave it okay. But most of the thing I'm still using today. Something like Asakai. I'm still have a now we change it. We call town hall. I mean every week
Yes,
we
town
have a
halls.
town hall to all members to join. And KPI I'm still using, but it's make it all automatically. Okay, like a normally they have to do the manually, but now we change it to automatically. And micromanagement I'm
Hmm.
also still using in some team that we want to squeezing a performance. We do the micromanagement and a lot of things like sharing data. I'm still share. If you asking my team in many company, they know how much we generating sale this month, how much we generating profit, and how much everything we sharing because it's really important to driving the company or drive the business. I mean, every member need to know what's going on, which direction we're
Mm.
going to go in that. Okay, where we are, and what is command, what is direction, from the CEO. That is really important. That we try to make sure that everyone, we are in the same page. Okay.
Right. I
Mhm.
love that because the thing is that the vision and the direction must be so clear that
Yes.
everybody's on board, and that's when they can effectively work. I think there are many companies out there, right, that because they don't have the clarity of vision from top down or whether or not it's from middle management, everything gets muddied and very, very messy. And then even when, let's say, for example, for performance, you were mentioning that you do micromanage to squeeze every little bit out of them, which is necessary at times. I do think so. at the same time, if the direction is not strong, micromanagement will just completely break the team.
And the KPI is really good. That thing I learned a lot
Mm.
from Japan. Because when we have a goal that this year we want to achieve like 10 million like that, but sometimes we didn't know that how to make it, right? We just, many companies just, hey, this year we're gonna, target 10 million, but how you can go there, how you can make it happen, what is execution, what is strategy? Some company didn't have, they just have number, but
Mm.
when I'm working with Rakuten, everything clearly, from 10 million, it break down to 5, this team got 2, and then everything to break down in detail. From the company target, it break down to the department target and or team target. From team target, it break down to personal target. That means everyone in the company, we are involved in our small target related to the big target. If you're missing your own target, it's going to be your team target are going to missing too, and the team target is missing is going to make it like your company target missing. That means we can see relationship between how the small action in each person impact to the to the company target. But this way that you're doing, we're not monitoring every week, but we do it daily.
Right.
Daily operation is very important. That means they break it down the target from annually to be monthly, weekly, and daily. That means we have to achieve daily target. If we cannot achieve daily target for each person, we cannot achieve the weekly target, and then we cannot achieve the whole year target. This is
Right.
something that changed my thinking way. That means if you want to achieve target something, you have to going down to the smallest part. That is, if you not achieve the smallest part, you can achieve the bigger part.
Mm. Agreed. Agreed. At the same time,
Mm.
I would say that this particular method is for e-commerce in itself.
Yep. Yes,
Okay.
that is from
Yeah.
e-commerce. Because
Yeah.
when
Because different
we
industries, very hard to do this.
yes, because everything in e-commerce is can measurement, it can trackable. That means if you
Mm.
want sell 10 million, in terms of e-commerce, you can break it down. How much traffic you have to generating, how much
Mm.
conversion you have, how much your average order basket you have. You have to control everything every day. And sometimes we break it down to every hour. This hour we have to generate 2 million traffic to the site. If you cannot generating 2 million with this conversion, you cannot achieve sale in this hour. That means everything is number. Okay.
Yeah. That's wow. That sounds extremely pressurizing
Yes.
because I don't like numbers.
Yes.
But
The
that.
CEO from Japan, they can see that my smallest team member, this guy have this problem. He can see that
Oh.
because
Wow.
all the
Okay.
data is really structured data. You know, that means
Yeah.
when something missing, when something wrong, we can see that what's going on. Why we cannot make the target? We cannot achieve the target. That is really beauty thing for the micromanagement and KPI management.
Right. You're absolutely right. It's very interesting. Now,